Welcome to the deep dive. This is where you send us sources and, well, we dive deep, pulling out the key insights for you. It's about getting informed efficiently.
Exactly. And today's approach is a little different. We're focusing on just one source someone sent in.
That's right. It's excerpts from a story, Okokla, which translates to the unfinished installment, found in podcast5.pdf.
It's a narrative, yeah. A story with, it seems, quite a message baked into it.
Definitely. So our mission today is pretty clear. Explore the plot, the characters, look at the themes running underneath, and figure out that core message. Give you the full picture quickly.
Sounds good. Where does it start?
Okay, so the story opens at this hotel. Farmalexita Chantinues. You have to picture it, Once really grand, great service, beautiful.
The kind of place people talk about.
Right. And the owner, Hari Shankar, he's painted as this really honest, hardworking guy. Built it up himself.
Ah, okay. But there's a but coming, I sense.
There is. Time passes, fewer guests, and, debt starts piling up. Big time.
A classic story, unfortunately. Happens to businesses.
It does. And it gets serious. The bank drops an ultimatum, and they have everything back in 1 month, or they foreclose.
Wow, 1 month. That's intense pressure.
Totally. And the story really emphasizes this, right? It's not just the hotel. It feels like his failure, Hari Shankar's dream, crumbling.
Yeah, you can feel the weight of that. It sets a pretty somber tone early on.
He tries everything, apparently, but just can't raise the money. And then, well, he gets that final notice from the bank.
Overwhelmed.
Desperate. He takes his own life, tragically, inside the hotel itself.
Oh, wow. That's heavy. So the financial ruin leads directly to personal tragedy.
Exactly, and that's where things get strange. After his death, the hotel starts getting this reputation.
Not a good one, I'm guessing.
Not at all. Guests report hearing things at night, crying, screams, heavy footsteps in empty corridors.
Yikes. Okay, so classic haunting territory.
Pretty much. People get spooked, they leave, and soon the place is totally deserted. Just sits there, empty and, kind of creepy.
It's interesting how the story links the supernatural stuff directly back to his death and the whole debt situation. It's not just random ghost, it feels connected.
Right, like his distress or something is lingering there because of the unfinished business.
Makes you think about the psychological impact, doesn't it? Even if you don't believe in ghosts, the idea of that kind of lingering despair is powerful.
Definitely. So, okay, the hotel sits empty for 5 years. Then along comes Arjun.
Arjun, who's he?
He's described as young, ambitious, sees the abandoned hotel and decides, I'm gonna buy it.
Even knowing the stories, the crying and footsteps.
Yep. People warn him, tell him all the creepy stuff, but he just brushes it off. Seems he wasn't easily scared.
Okay, so he's got some nerve. Or maybe she just sees a good business opportunity.
Maybe both. He starts renovating, trying to bring Shanti Niwas back to life, but as the work progresses...
Let me guess. The strange things ramp up.
You got it. Things get weirder, more intense. Workers start getting freaked out and quit.
So his efforts to fix the place are actually stirring things up more. That's an interesting twist.
Yeah, it's like disturbing whatever was settled there. But Arjun, he's not giving up. He makes this bold move.
Which is?
He decides he's going to spend a night in the hotel. Alone.
Okay, that's brave.
Yeah.
Or maybe reckless, depending on how you look at it. He's really confronting it head on.
He is. And it pays off. In a way, midnight strikes, the door to his room just opens by itself.
Oh boy. Here we go.
And this hazy figure appears. It's Hari Shankar's spirit. The story says you could see the pain and anger in his eyes.
Wow. So it's not just noises anymore. It's a full-on apparition. What does Arjun do? Run screaming?
Nope. He actually asks it quite bravely. Who are you? Straight to the point. I like it.
And the spirit answers.
Yeah.
Says he's the true owner, that his dream was destroyed by the debt. And crucially, he says he can't find peace, can't move on until that debt is paid.
So there it is, the explicit link. His unrest is tied directly to that financial obligation. It's the unfinished installment from the title. Exactly. His life's work, his dream, cut short and left unresolved. It's literally tethering him there.
Fascinating concept. So what's Arjun's reaction to finding out he's bought a haunted hotel with a very specific problem?
This is the turning point. Arjun, apparently without even hesitating, makes a promise.
A promise to a ghost.
Yep. He promises Hari Shankar's spirit that he will fulfill his dream, he'll revive the hotel, make it succeed, and he will pay off that original debt.
That's quite something. He's taken on the previous owner's burden, essentially.
He is.
Yeah.
And he sticks to it. He works hard, renovates the hotel, gets it running again, guests start coming back.
So the business side starts to turn around.
It does, and crucially, every month, Arjun makes a payment towards that old bank debt. And he makes sure the payments are recorded in Hari Shankar's name.
Paying it off for him, literally.
Yeah.
That's a real commitment to his promise.
Absolutely. And then the day comes when he makes the final payment, the last installment.
The Yogyam is finally complete.
Precisely. And on that exact day, the story says, this deep silence falls over the hotel. All the weird occurrences just stop completely.
Wow, just like that. The moment the debt is cleared.
Just like that, the connection seems undeniable in the story's logic.
It implies Hari Shankar's spirit was truly bound by that debt, and fulfilling the obligation released him.
It seems so, because that night, Arjun has a dream.
Let me guess, Hari Shankar appears.
He does, but this time he's smiling, and he says, "Oh, back in my joints, and now I am free. Thank you."
Closure. Real explicit closure from the spirit himself.
Exactly, and after that dream, no more strange happenings ever again. The hotel is finally at peace.
And Arjun, what does he do?
As a final mark of respect, he renames the hotel. It's no longer Shanti Niwas. He calls it Hari Niwas after Hari Shankar.
Acknowledging the past, honoring the promise. That's a nice touch. It brings the whole thing full circle.
It really does. Now, the narrative itself wraps up with this explicit Anhuna message.
So the author tells us the moral of the story directly.
Pretty much. It states that sometimes incomplete responsibilities can, well, bind a soul. Keep it from finding peace.
Like Hari Shankar and his debt.
Right. And it goes on to say that when someone else steps up, sincerely takes on and fulfills those unfinished commitments.
Like Arjun did.
It doesn't just free that bound soul. The story calls it a victory for humanity.
That's a strong statement. A victory for humanity. It elevates fulfilling a promise, even to a spirit, to something quite profound. It's about integrity, perhaps?
Empathy? I think so. It's taking responsibility beyond the purely personal or material. So if we boil it down, what do we got?
Well, we've seen the tragic impact of overwhelming debt and despair with Hari Shankar.
Then the unsettling consequences, the haunting tied to that unfinished business.
Then Arjun's arrival. His courage, his determination not just to renovate a building, but to address the underlying issue.
The promise made to the spirit, which is key.
And the fulfillment of that promise, leading directly to resolution and peace, both for the spirit and the hotel.
So the big takeaways seem to be about, 1, the real burden of unfinished business, whatever form it takes.
2, the incredible power of genuine commitment and keeping your word, even in bizarre circumstances.
And 3, maybe the idea that resolution is possible, even when things seem hopelessly stuck or even supernatural.
Yeah, and connecting this back to you, the listener, it does make you wonder, doesn't it, about any unfinished installments in your own life.
And like the story suggests, maybe not just financial ones, right? It could be unresolved arguments, apologies never made, dreams you put on hold.
Exactly. Things we've left hanging. Do they exert some kind of weight on us, even subconsciously? It's food for thought.
It really is. Which leads us to, I guess, the final question we leave you with.
What does this story suggest to you about what really brings peace? Is it just about tying up loose ends?
Or is it about the nature of responsibility itself? Does it extend beyond contracts and logic, maybe into something more interconnected?
Yeah, the interconnectedness of our actions, maybe even beyond our own lives. How does helping someone else find peace, even posthumously, reflect back on us, on humanity?
Powerful questions to mull over. Thank you for taking this deep dive with us into the unfinished installment.